you're almost there. Once you've rigged the hands and fingers, you would have finally completed the rig for your character. Zoom in on the left hand. Actually, there's not much to do with the hand itself, as it's already set to follow the hand controllers in both IK and FK modes. What you need is control over the fingers. There are many ways to do this, but an FK approach for the fingers is typically standard. You can have individual shape controllers for every joint for the most control. For a game's character, this could be a bit of overkill. At the very least, you need to control the finger bases, but for the rest, you can create custom attributes for finger curl effects. This is the workflow you will be adopting here. You'll start with the pinky finger. Create a 3-ring controller for it, and name it Zombie Left Pinky Controller. Align the new shape to the pinky finger base bone, pivot to pivot in position and orientation. In Subobject Spline mode, adjust its size using the Scale tool. Adjust other parameters like number of sides, interpolation, and thickness if need be. Make its wire color a shade of blue. You've been using blue for all FK actions so far. Make a copy and name it Zombie Left Ring Controller. Align it to the ring finger base bone. Repeat the procedure to make a middle finger, Zombie Left Middle Controller, an index finger, Zombie Left Index Controller, and a thumb, Zombie Left Thumb Controller. Make sure all 5 can be seen if the geometry is displayed. If you need to, make the necessary scaling at the spline subobject level. Once you've done that, it's important to rework the hierarchy between fingers and hand. Link each finger base to its appropriate controller and then link all 5 controllers to the hand bone. This way, the controllers would react to the hand motions in both IK and FK, and still have control over their respective fingers. Once you have the hierarchy in place, select all 5 controllers and freeze their transforms. As you've done before, you can restrict some of the transforms that shouldn't be taking place. For example, the fingers should be able to rotate on their local Y and Z axes, but not on X. Therefore, you can lock that rotation in the hierarchy panel. You can also lock all move and scale functionality, as you won't need them on a finger controller. It is simply meant to travel with the hand, its parent. Repeat this for the other 4 controllers. You still need to establish the finger curl effect. Select the pinky controller. You will start with that one. Go to the Modify panel and add an Attribute Holder modifier. Access the Parameter Editor dialog, Alt-1, and create a new custom attribute named Pinky Curl. Set its width to 100, its range from 0 to 10, and its justification to the right. Add it to the modifier. Using the Reaction Manager, establish a new master control for this newly created custom attribute. Select the pinky's second and third bones, zombie left pinky 2 bone and zombie left pinky 3 bone, and wire their Z rotations as reactions. Create a new state where the rotations are set to 90 degrees when the custom attribute's value is at its maximum. 90 degrees is probably more than you need, but it'll give the animator a bit more breathing space. Test the work. If the rotation is going in the wrong direction, reverse the angle values. You could create a separate custom attribute for each individual controller. Instead, you will use the same attribute holder modifier to control all 5 finger curls. Later, you will instance that modifier so that you can access the finger curls no matter which finger controller is selected. So repeat the procedure to add a new custom attribute to the existing modifier. Name it ring curl and use the same parameters as before. Create custom attributes for the middle finger, index finger, and thumb as well. Dismiss the parameter editor dialog when done. Now instance the modifier to the other finger controllers. Again, this is done by holding Control and dragging the modifier to other objects in the viewport. Use the Reaction Manager as you did before to establish reactions between finger controllers and their respective finger joints. Test out the reactions to make sure the fingers are curling the right way. Adjust the degree angles in positive or negative to get the right effect. Dismiss the Reaction Manager dialog when done. Once you're done with the left hand, you need to repeat all this workflow for the right hand. This is a journey you do on your own, now that you've learned what needs to be done. Once you're done with that, your rig is complete. All that's left to do is some cleanup and minor adjustments. And so, the next movie is a wrap-up of what has been a great journey of discovery.